What do you think are the top 3 things that employers are looking for when you graduate?
Professionalism.
Interpersonal communication skills.
They look at grades.
I'll say like leadership.
An attitude of positivity.
Internships, if you did any.
Responsibility, just like being accountable.
Do you feel like going to college was worth it?
Yes and no.
Yeah, if you make it worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think college is worth it.
So here's some of the questions that you might have to think about. They're very subjective, so you can't get the wrong answer, but you can look funny, so that'll be good. So what are 3 things that college doesn't teach you that you need in order to be successful in the real world?
3 things, okay. Well, I guess it depends what your major was, but I would say definitely interpersonal communication skills.
Okay.
I would say is one for sure. Another one, again, it depends on your major, but I would say personal financial management is something that it really doesn't teach most students, and not everyone has that in high school. And then third, I would say this is kind of similar to my first one, but I would say more than less just business relationship skills, like how to interact with someone in a professional environment versus just informal.
Yeah, and that goes for whatever major, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, interpersonal skills for one. Like, you need to know how to effectively communicate with other people. Financial skills, I guess, which I haven't really been taught. And then I'll say like leadership.
Okay, we got leadership, financial skills, interpersonal skills not taught in the classroom.
I think school doesn't really teach the kind of attitude that makes you successful in different internships. I've actually interned in a number of different places, from law firms to actual analytics positions. And one of the biggest things that I've come across needing is like just have an attitude of positivity where, accept that work is going to come your way, that is not always going to be the most fun, but if you can keep, sight of your goals, then it's going to be rewarding.
Absolutely. James is a stud, okay, but college does not teach you attitude, right? It is not going to be teaching that kind of stuff, and you do need that to be successful, right? Interviews, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've been in college for like 2 months, so I don't know. I'm sure that I can learn stuff later. I don't really know. But
What do you think you're not learning in the classroom compared to what you are learning?
like, what is that? I don't know.
Professionalism, probably time management, and like responsibility, just like being like accountable.
I think those are all great qualities, right? And so actually, as it turns out, like leadership, communication skills are usually up there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people say GPA
Really?
and their classroom knowledge, but it's actually like at the bottom, like
Yeah,
number
I wouldn't think
17,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think the GPA doesn't translate to what employers look for?
Because there's oftentimes you taking classes that like don't directly correlate to like something that you might be doing in the workplace. I just think like I'm in a biology class right now, and I'm not really going to need that in the long run.
Do you feel like the education that you're actually getting from the classroom, since you're saying, biology is not going to transfer over to psychology
Right.
probably at some point, do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth it to go to college?
I do. I think in our society, it's kind of like frowned upon if you don't. But I also have 4 older siblings, and only one of them went to college and graduated. So like, I know you can be successful both ways, but I've seen with like my siblings that you have a better chance of being successful if you do go to college and if you do follow through with it. So like, it's not necessary, but it definitely helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, would you agree that there's a right way and a wrong way to do college?
Yes, because like my 2 oldest siblings went to like community college for a couple years, tried that for a while, it didn't work out. And then my 3rd oldest brother, he went to a 4-year college, graduated, now he's just starting his job and he's completely like fine. So like, I think you just have to find what works for you, and obviously college isn't for anyone. Or everyone, I mean, but like, I think you just have to like, if you go for it, you got to stick with it and just really like get through it. Because it's going to get hard, and you're going to want to like, there's going to be times where you're going to be like, dang, this isn't really for me, like I chose wrong or whatever, but you just got to like push through that, get through
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think college is worth it, especially if you want a job that's high paying and you have to work for that to get there. So I think the hard work does pay off, and yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that college is worth it. Not everybody will agree with that, but when it comes to experience is valuable. And whether or not some people graduate college and never use their degree, that happens, but you're still gaining a lot of experience in college that is valuable for the rest of your life, I'm sure.
I don't think everyone has to go to like an SEC college like this. I think you can go to community, but honestly, in today, I really wouldn't say so. There's a lot you can do without a degree, so if it's not in the budget, if you're not passionate about anything here, I would say you don't really need to go to college, but other than that, yeah, like say if you get enough scholarships off, like
Say it with your chest, I love it.
Yeah, like I got enough money off to where it was worth it, so.
Yeah, scholarship. If you can get it for free, obviously you should go,
Yeah,
and obviously if it's
it's
really
worth it at that point. Like this is in-state
Absolutely.
for me. I had good ACT and stuff like that, so.
Absolutely. I think that everyone's situation is different, and so everyone's cost is different, but I've absolutely found a lot of confidence that comes from just having knowledge of my areas of study. I think I'm ending up in a career that I'm excited about versus one that I may have never learned about. And I think that's what matters, is part of the calculus that you have to do when you're taking on a commitment like college. Are these loans that I'm going to be paying off worth the salary bump that is going to justify them? You know, if I can live like I'm making 100K, but I'm paying off loans, you know, I'm still living like I'm making 100K. Like, if I had never taken on that much debt, you know, I would have never been able to, you know, make it back. Ultimately, it's about enjoying life, you know, and so year by year, day to day, it raises the stakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that for sure. So,
Yeah, if you make it worth it. I feel like if you just go through the motions, then no. But if you actually apply yourself and try to do your best and tailor it to you, then it'd be worth it.
do you think your major matters?
Not really. Not as much as a lot of people like put on.
Yes and no. I mean, it depends, like, on the day. I think everyone kind of does this, so I, you know, kind of beat myself up for it, but I think something everyone thinks about it sometimes. I just think to myself, like, oh, if I could go back, I would do this, and this differently. But to get that knowledge, I had to, like, kind of mess up and do it a certain way, maybe not the optimal way. I think the best thing I can do now is tell other people that are younger than me, like, hey, like, you should actually do X, Y, Z. Here's my advice as a person who maybe made some of the wrong mistakes, and this is how you can not fall into that trap. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if I could show you a YouTube channel that helped you learn the skills, you know, that's not taught in college, you know, some of these skills, interpersonal, financial skills, how to buy your first home, for example, is that a podcast or a YouTube channel that you would watch?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
Feel like that'd be pretty helpful?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, all of those things can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming, and you don't really know how to get yourself out of not only like the situations you may get in, but like the mindsets, or like, you know, you have a problem and you need to solve it, but like looking at like how you actually solve the problem. I think that would be helpful. Yeah.
That's literally what we do at the podcast. Isn't that awesome?
That's so
you're going to have to
funny.
listen, right? That's going to be
Yeah,
great. It'll be
absolutely.
super helpful for you. So that's what we do at the Knowledge Gap. We untangle real world problems. We give you real world solutions for what you'll actually need for real life, instead of the bubble that is college, because college is a bubble where everything's sort of like paid for free, but not really you paid for it, and then everybody's the same age and you don't really get
It's
skills.
like Monopoly.
It's like Monopoly.
Like Monopoly
It's
a
like
little
Monopoly.
bit,
So
yeah.
we're talking about real life, not Monopoly. How
Right.
to use your real money and actually build wealth that way. Sound pretty cool?
Yeah, very
Awesome.
cool.
Emma, you did great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.